Hello, everyone. This is Jeff Altgilbers. It's Monday, March 3rd, and this is our Monday mentoring call. And for those of you that are in the other side of the world, wherever that is, it could be in Asia or different parts of the world, it might be your Tuesday call, but we want to welcome you as well, you listeners, and those of you that are actively taking such a wonderful lead with For Life Research. This is such an exciting time right now. We've got so much going on, and Maritza, who was just prior to this call, was so excited. She just came back from the Dominican Republic, where we had a big event there, and it's just exciting to hear what's going on with For Life around the world, and there's just so much going on right now. The purpose of these calls is mentoring. So if any of you that just got on the call, maybe if you thought it was a prospecting call, it's not. We use our system for that. And our presentation videos do a very good job explaining the opportunity. So if you haven't seen it, take a look at it. But this call is for you leaders who are actively building your business. You know, in the past, and really what I was going to talk about tonight was really developing, an attitude toward ourselves, or having confidence in ourselves. That's very important, because when we think about it, to build a team, to build an organization, you first have to build you. It starts with you. In the past, we talked about that under a different subject. But when we talk about really the greatest thing of For Life Research, as we've mentioned in the past, we talk about it's not transfer factor. It's the you factor. It all starts with you. It starts with who you are as a person. And of course, when we came into For Life, we have a lot of emotional makeup, don't we? Intellectual makeup. We've had experiences, good or bad, that are really a part of us, and they do shape our attitude, maybe our world perspective. Sometimes that's healthy, and we certainly hope it is for most, but a lot of times we find that people come to this business for the very reason they didn't want to, maybe do traditional business. They have different goals, different dreams. It's hard to achieve, even with great careers that pay so well and offer so much in terms of maybe prestige or something like that. But they chose this business because they really believe that wouldn't satisfy them. Money alone won't do it. But when we think about it, then, really, what does it come down to? It comes down to that person has different values. It's the values that really make you who you. Whether we've had good, positive programming, negative programming, the values are you. That's what makes you what you are, and it makes you very special. Now, you could have had a really bad hand. We've talked about that in cards. My son complains about it whenever we do play cards, and I deal him the cards, and he looks at them and says, "Wow, you gave me such a bad hand." I said, "Well, I'm sorry about that. I got a bad hand too. You know what? It's what we make of this hand. That's what's going to determine how well this game's going to be played and whether we're going to enjoy it." In life, it's that way too. Sometimes you have these great values, but you've just been dealt a bad hand. Well, how are you going to play that hand? I think we got to look at some of the things that really handicap us in this business. I know it handicapped me, and I found it difficult to have any confidence in myself in the beginning, because it starts with that internal dialogue that we wake up to every day. Our mind that's been programmed or has been conditioned through a lot of us negative experiences, and we have to really look at that and just ask ourselves, what are we talking about? in this internal dialogue every day, from the time we get up until we go to sleep. What do we meditate on? Are they positive thoughts? Are they empowering thoughts? Affirming thoughts? Or are we doing a lot of playbacks of the past? Maybe playbacks where we failed and, something went wrong. The thing is, when people join us in this business, I always say, please, forget the past. The past doesn't equal the future. Leave the emotional baggage outside. Come in this with a fresh attitude that you can succeed. And you're worthy to succeed. You deserve it. And because you made that choice, so many others are going to be blessed because of the fact you made this decision. Is that true? You better believe it's true. Think about this, my friends. Sure, my joining For Life Research brought a lot of blessings into my life, numerous blessings, financial freedom, time freedom, a family that I never had before that I have now, and exploring a lot of the dreams and desires I always wanted to do with my life that I never had time for because I was just so caught up making a living, eking on an existence. But I brought blessings to others too. For example, Dave Daughtry, when he joined this business, he was homeless. Think about that. He was homeless. Well, he called the guy, me, that was broke too. And he offered this opportunity to me. Well, what did I do? So I got busy. I recruited Dave Phillips out of Seattle, Washington, who's a Gold International Diamond. I don't know how many of you know Dave Phillips, but I went after Dave Phillips and after Dave Phillips, and he came in. Well, guess who he brought in? He brought in the person who brought in Herminio Novatus. That's right. So because I made a decision to do For Life Research, I made that decision. I said, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm beat up. Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence in myself because of what's happened in the past. I do believe in this company. I do believe in these products. I do believe that these are the type of products people want to order for the rest of their lives. And that equals residual income. Residual income equals security. See, I believe that. And so I had enough confidence there, not so much in myself as I did For Life Research and the products, but I had enough confidence to pick up that phone and call Dave Phillips and say, Dave, I think I have something here. Now, I didn't know Herminio Novatus, but when Dave picked up the phone and he called a friend who called a friend, and finally that's how it happened, then Herminio decided to join, and then that was the beginning. That was the beginning. So my decision not only blessed me, but my decision blessed Herminio. His decision blessed him. It also blessed others because Juan Rosado came in, and then so many other great leaders joined as well. See, it all came down to really trying to get away from negative thinking of the past. Not thinking, well, because all these other companies I was in, it never worked out. I failed, or they left me, that this just won't work. For Life won't work. I've seen it happen to many, my friends, where they come in with what Zig Ziglar used to call stinking thinking, and they need to do a checkup from the neck up. Matter of fact, I think it was Mark Twain made the comment one time about that. He said, keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that. But the really great make you feel that you too can become great. Mark Twain once said. And that's so important. It's so important to believe that we can become. Really what it comes down to is reprogramming our minds. I remember when I used to have these thoughts of failure. And again, these can be a lot of images. These can be, when I remember one time when I went into a grocery store with my son, Micah, and he was probably, about 4 years old. I was totally broke at that point. And I remember writing a check for some groceries because we, didn't have any food in the house at the time. And I can remember when I was going out the door, the guy came up to me and stopped me and said, "Sorry, I'm going to have to take that cart." He wouldn't even take a check from me. Yeah, those were hard times. But the thing is, because they become emotionally ingrained or linked, we don't forget them. Now, how we change it is how we feel about it. See, we can't do anything about what's happened to us. We can only change the way we feel about it. That's an important point. I mean, it's even today during the night I can wake up sometimes from a dream from it, and I can think, "You're not there anymore." It's changed. You've changed. It's not real anymore because you made that decision. Really, then, when I have memories like that, or pictures like that, mental pictures, you know what I like to do? I visually see myself doing? Taking my fist and smashing it. Like as if it's a photo glass. And that image just crumbles into thousands of pieces. And then I can look through that frame and I can see a beautiful sunset, sunrise, something beautiful. I can see a new image. Images that are very positive. That's what we have to do. We have to reprogram our minds. People that may have nurtured us in a negative way. Could be parents, could be our peers growing up. Just family, just anybody that had influence over us. But we have to remember that we're very special. And the reason why I can say we're very special is because we're created in God's image. That's special. And really, we think about it. He didn't create us to have a miserable life. He didn't create us to struggle. He didn't create us for want. When you think about it, what we have to do every day from the time that we wake up is just realize how special that is. That He wants a great future for us. It's up to us to really change that image that we have of ourselves. I thought it was interesting when I once saw a lady on a television show who lost 175 pounds. She had surgery to remove the excess skin and everything went great. They were showing the before and after pictures and she looked fantastic. Several months later, when they went back to interview her, she seemed so depressed and could hardly eat anything. And they said, "Hey, what's wrong? You look so great. You look so fantastic. Well, what's wrong?" And she said, "Well, yeah, that's what everybody's telling me, but I guess in my mind, I'll always be fat and an unattractive lady." She changed the outside, but she didn't change the inside. She still played back those images. So what we have to do is we've got to change the way we feel about ourselves. Have that dream to be a platinum. I certainly want you to be one. There was a time I wasn't a platinum. And you know that. There was a time I wasn't a gold. You knew that. It was progressive. My growth for life was progressive. But the one thing that changed it all was that I wouldn't surrender to negative thinking. I'd wake up every day trying to think good thoughts. I'm going to succeed. This is going to work. I'm a good leader. I can do this. I've got a bright future in front of me. That's the kind of dialogue I had to get going on between my head and my heart. To believe in it. To get busy. And then help others. Help others to do that very thing too. Just realizing that a lot of the bonus in this business are people that come from a very struggled past. And that we have to be that way too with them. Help them. Get beyond that stinking thinking. Get beyond those attitudes that have been conditioned by failure. And then know that you not only should succeed, you can, and you deserve it. You deserve this success. We have to reach out and help those leaders. We got to help ourselves first, though. It starts with you. It starts with you. When you fix you, you can fix them. That is, if they're willing. If they're willing to change. So we have to work on those affirmations, those faith-empowering words. Find things to really count your blessings every day. Things that we take for granted. Count your blessings. And then just know that the future is going to get bigger and brighter. If you stay focused on this business, stay focused on your people, and then help your people. Help your people get involved in their dreams. I think that's one thing that's so important. To lose a dream is a great loss. There was a man who once said, death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside of us while we're still alive. I'll repeat that again. Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside of us while we still live. Isn't that terrible? To merely exist without a dream. Or as I'll quote Ben Franklin, he said, most men die from the neck up at the age of 25 because they stop dreaming. They just give up. I guess that's why so many people pulled us down. They didn't want us to dream. They were afraid we might achieve it because they gave up a long time ago. That's why it's so important to really watch who we get around. Who's going to influence us, especially as we're building this great business that we're building. You think about it, any competitor that's going to go out, let's say go to the Olympics, for example, they're not going to hang around people who have a junk food diet. They're going to be around people who motivate them to do the right things. But back to now taking this from you to your leaders, we understand that we've got to build you first, then you build your team. When you do build that team, then we have to do the same thing, for them as we did for ourselves, and that is to build them up with the right kind of words. Make sure that we're always positive. Compliment them. Find things to talk about them. Qualities they have, traits that they have that are very good for this business. And when it comes to their dream, and this could be true for people you prospect as well, ask them to share their dream with you. Everyone has a dream, but few people are asked about it. You talk to people and you say, hey, you got any dreams? What would you really like to do with your life? If it was really possible, just ask them that. See what they say to you. important, because from that point forward, you can really show them how that can be achieved with For Life research. And a lot of times it's not money. A lot of times we just assume that, everybody wants to make $20,000, $30,000, $100,000 a month. No, they don't. They think about other things. Some people think about money. But if you ask a military person who's just coming out of the military, what's his dream? He might say, I'd love to spend more time with my children. If you ask a younger person, they might say, well, I really want to travel the world. They're not talking about money at all. Well, we can certainly show them how they can achieve those dreams with this business, how easy it is to share it with others, and build a network of dreamers and achievers. The other thing is, here's another step that you can, when we talk about that, affirm the person as well as the dream. Let the person know that you not only value his or her dream, but that you also recognize traits in that individual that can help him or her achieve it. You're the kind of person I know can make it. I mean, you have that determination. I can see it in you. Those are things that we can say. Ask about the challenges they must overcome to reach the dreams. Ask them, say, wow, that's an incredible dream, John. Have you had any challenges reaching it? What are those challenges? And they'll share it with you. They might say, well, you know what, I just don't have time. I've got the dream, but I don't have the time because I'm just caught up making a living. Okay. We can show that person how they can overcome that, because our business is for busy people. Our system is for busy people. And then, importantly, you can offer your assistance. No one achieves a worthwhile dream alone. And people really light up when they know that you want to throw your hand in there and help them out to achieve that dream. That's so important. And it's also important to revisit that dream with that person that you sponsor in the For Life research. Matter of fact, there's a form in our back office, the business plan, that they can, you need to get a copy of that. When you sponsor that person, have them fill it out. What are your dreams? What are your dreams? And then we can help them to overcome all that negative programming. Show them how to put a fist through a negative photoglass, an image of the past, and just totally eliminate it and look into that frame and see something totally different now. Yeah, you're the leader. You're the mentor. And just as you had to overcome you, they can do the same with your help. And then every day, be a dream booster, not a dream buster. Help that person that's in your team. Check with them saying, hey, just calling to see how you're doing. Is there anything I can help you with? Anybody you need me to talk to? With you? For you? I just want to help you out. I really value you. That kind of leaders, their confidence is going to grow. Your team's going to get stronger because you're going to be passing those values down. Well, that was pretty much what I wanted to talk about, was developing that confidence in you and how to develop that confidence into your team. I want to really thank all of you for getting on this call tonight. This is a week that begins. Question is, how will the week end? What will you do? This is the beginning of the week, and at the end of the week, what will you have accomplished? And I'm not talking about just in terms of for life. I'm talking about in terms of how you can grow you and make a better you. We all have things or challenges and sometimes problems that come up. Yes, I do. I do. And it's just a matter of managing the mind, deciding how we're going to choose to think. Negative thoughts, positive thoughts, empowering thoughts, and disempowering. It's very important because thoughts become attitudes. And then our attitudes determine our character. And you've seen people like that. Some can be very negative. And then some people, they just walk in the room and you don't even have to turn on the light switch. It's just a boom, the light comes on. Has that kind of charisma. Those kind of people I love to be around with. And I know you do too. But that's the kind of people we have to become. And it's a daily education. It really is. Or daily conditioning that we have to do. But we should start our day that way. Well, from the time that we wake up, start think good things about yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't be too critical of yourself. Don't do that. I say that because I remember a lot of times in my life I was that way toward myself, very critical. And my mother used to say, Jeff, lighten up. I can remember that. Lighten up. I had to learn how to lighten up. We have to learn how to look into ourselves and see the good. And there's a lot of good. And then what we can do is grow it, feed it, and then it becomes just a garden of beauty. Do that with yourself. Do that with your leaders. Grow yourself when you wake up from the morning. Continue to use and read books and listen to audio books that from mentors that that we've suggested. We've suggested many on these calls, and others that you feel very good about. Continue and stay open to others as well, but find ways to grow you, because you're going to grow your team when you do that. Thanks for being on this call. I'm going to open it up, and that way if we have any crying children, this is their moment to voice themselves. But I'm going to stop the recording. Have a wonderful, successful week in all that you do, in personal growth, as well as with For Life Research. I can't wait to see your story in the Summit magazine and see your beautiful, beautiful smiling face on the front cover of that Summit magazine when you become a platinum. Now I'm going to stop the recording, and then I'm going to open up. We can say goodnight.